Hello, we're back with another Play or Pass, where we jump into some co-op and multiplayer games and give you our thoughts on whether or not they're worth picking up. If you want to join myself and Nex for more co-op and multiplayer content, feel free to hit the sub button below and sit back each week as we review and play through all sorts of different titles. Today we're covering Counterstrike Global Offensive, or CSGO. This game is an objective-based first-person shooter and the most recent installment in the Counter-Strike franchise. A franchise built on the shoulders of the LAN parties and tournaments of what is arguably one of the most iconic competitive shooter series in the world of gaming. The gameplay itself revolves around Team PvP, in which you'll be placed in one of two opposing teams, the terrorists and the counter-terrorists. In-game, you and your team are tasked with eliminating the enemy before they eliminate you. And while you do this, you'll also have to complete objectives depending on which of the 9 total game modes you decide to play. And these can range from things like defusing or planting bombs, or defending or attacking hostages. Counter-Strike is famous for its high skill Twitch-style gameplay, skill which unfortunately I don't have. I like going this way, I'm going to go this way again.
I'll go there as well.
Seems successful for me. Oh, that's not successful for me.
Yeah, I'm going to back up now. Oh my goodness. They rushed there. So I followed you. I didn't even do anything. I'm on 20 health just for roughly following me. Oh my goodness. They're everywhere.
If that doesn't tell you that I make good decisions, I don't know what does. But if you're a lover of competitive first-person shooters, and you're looking for an easy one to jump into, this might well be one for you. Counter-Strike recently had a significant update that adds new maps, weapon skins, character skins, as well as a small bunch of other things. So we thought it was a great time to jump in and find out if Counter-Strike Global Offensive is a play or a pass.
If you've played Counter-Strike in the past or maybe haven't got round to trying it at all, what has CSGO got to offer the average player in 2020? The graphics are more than acceptable. In fact, they've improved considerably over the years. As someone who has a lot of experience in the previous Counter-Strike games, the visuals actually looked impressive. As you may or may not know, this is the FPS gold standard for competitive eSports, and as such the movement is highly responsive, hitbox is accurate and gunplay is satisfying. Here, you are the hindrance to your success. The controls are relatively simple. There are no abilities, you have a primary and secondary weapon with a few other equipment options too. Most weapons don't have aim down sight, and therefore you're mostly playing with a hip-fire playstyle. Sound is minimal and concise, to highlight the importance of being aware of your surroundings. Crouching and walking removes movement sound, which is a good way to approach corners, for example. The style is not run and gun like COD, but gunfights are fast-paced, damage is high and HP doesn't recover over time. So as you can expect, good aim is paramount. So much so that it felt like we contributed nothing for the first few games. And this only improved to a minor contribution by the end of our first session.
You've got the bomb in it. I don't mind rushing through if you want.
I haven't, no.
Go behind me. Guy next to you does. I'm going to rush through because we're just going to stand here and I'm dead.
Guns are generally bought at the start of a round via cash that you earn through kills or winning the previous round. You can use an assortment of pistols, SMGs, rifles and heavy weapons alongside your knife. Most weapons need to be fired in short bursts due to the requirement of good accuracy. But at the higher levels of play, holding down fire can be well utilised once you have become comfortable with each gun's recoil spray pattern. The equipment you can purchase are a choice of Molotov and 5 grenades, high explosive, flash, smoke, decoy and incendiary. There are also a few gear options like Kevlar armour and defusal kits. Over time, Valve have released quite a few new game modes, with their classic mode reigning over the rest in popularity. This comes in a casual and competitive option, where players must either play as a terrorist or counter-terrorist in one of two scenarios. The bomb scenario, where terrorists must plant C4 and blow up a site while the counter-terrorists must defend and eliminate them. Or the hostage scenario, where counter-terrorists must rescue hostages, whilst the terrorists try to eliminate them. Other modes included are a standard team deathmatch, demolition, a faster-paced bomb scenario with weapon progression, cycling through a predefined selection of weapons as you get kills. Arms race, a respawning deathmatch where players similarly progress for a predefined selection of weapons. Flying Scoutsman, where gravity is reduced and all players must use a bolt-action sniper. And Danger Zone, Valve's take on a battle royale. CSGO hosts a fantastic range of maps, from the OGs like Dust 2 to newer ones like Anubis and Chlorine, and despite the atrocious map names, they seem incredibly well balanced. especially due to the fact that they aren't boring symmetrical maps, but each section has an individual feel and win condition to succeed in. No game these days are without their cosmetic customization, and Valve release skins for weapons frequently. These are contained in loot boxes, which cost a small amount of money to open. The skins you get can then be freely traded between players. It seems like consistent improvement along with the competitive scene have kept this game feeling like a modern title since its release in 2012. The simplicity of the game limits the amount of random elements that can affect you, making it a competitive player's dream. That being said, due to this, newer players might have a harder time, as there are no mechanics to give less skilled players chances to contribute.
Despite my lack of anything that resembles good aim and a constant reliance on Nex to carry me through competitive shooters, we both had a good time jumping back into Counter-Strike.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Yes, it's frustrating at times, and yes, there are people who seem to wallbang you in their side of the head out of nowhere, but that's part of the draw of the game. It makes you want to get better so you don't keep getting destroyed and humiliated by your opponent. The maps are varied, there are enough guns and equipment to let you choose a loadout that caters to your playstyle, and the games are short enough to prevent death from being too much of an annoyance. Graphically, it's nothing special, but it does look good considering the game's age. The sounds are okay and they do the job, but that's not what this game is about. And where it really shines is in the movement, responsiveness and gunplay. This is one of the top competitive shooters in the world, and it's easy to see why. It's responsive, smooth, and your skills as a player translates perfectly to the game. You're not limited by janky movement, poor gun mechanics, or any kind of RNG. If you're good, you're rewarded for being good, and it's as simple as that. Overall, we gave Counter-Strike a 3.5 out of 5. And for us, it's a play. Let us know in the comments what you think of the game, or whether or not you agree with our review. We're the Bullet Sponges, and we'll see you in the next one.